Well, we've had our first week back, and of course, after a couple of weeks off, you're always a little bit rusty on your first day back. Everyone fumbled a few words, someone forgot to turn on a microphone, and I briefly forgot how to breathe and passed out for 11 hours. Turns out air goes in and then out, not just in. Still, we managed to squeeze out a few eps, and as always, let's start with Mark Humphries and a selection of the headlines from this week. Take it away, pre-recorded Mark.
Ricky Muir, federal senator and frightened child, has fired his second staffer in a week. But don't worry, if there's one thing we've learned about Ricky, it's that he's perfectly capable of looking after himself.
Do you understand what balance of power means?
First, Ricky fired Glenn Drury, a highly successful political strategist, and now Peter Breen, a former solicitor and New South Wales MP. But he's hanging on to Keith Littler, a man whose political experience is so invaluable, Ricky just had to keep him on board.
Mr. Littler is a truck driver who produces motorsport programs known as the Grunt Files.
The Grunt Files, of course, is the quarterly essay of motorsport programs. The most recent firing, Peter Breen, says he was let go in part because he took a sick day following surgery at a skin cancer clinic. Oh, Ricky, you're so fine, you fired a cancer victim. Explain yourself, Ricky.
Mr. Breen advised he was too ill to work on Friday. He subsequently used Friday to travel to and attend a festival more than 700 kilometres from Sydney.
Though if Ricky thinks Breen's festival antics are bad, wait until he finds out about the guy in his office who taught his 8-year-old daughter how to do burnouts and threw kangaroo shit at his brother. But luckily, even after all these axings, Ricky won't be by himself in Canberra.
The Australian motoring enthusiast senator is now left with one junior advisor on his Canberra staff.
Oh, I'm sure they'll make a great team. Hello, Ricky Muir's office. Certainly, I'll put you through to the senator now. But after losing 2 staff members, Ricky's looking to the future.
I now hope to rebuild my team.
It's understood for Chief of Staff, he's hoping to get the Stig. An Australian athlete has crashed the Commonwealth Games closing ceremony in Glasgow, ruining an otherwise excellent closing ceremony, I imagine. Steeplechase runner Genevieve Lacasse got up on stage during a performance by Kylie Minogue, where she seamlessly blended in with the shirtless male dancers. Genevieve was on the verge of turning 25, so thought she would make the most of it.
I just kind of got up there and had my little bit of birthday celebration and limelight.
So after competing in front of millions at the 2012 Olympic Games and the 2014 Commonwealth Games, what this girl needed was limelight. Fortunately for Genevieve, the professional dancers on stage, who'd been training for this moment for weeks, didn't want any limelight. How would she like it?
On your marks.
Hey Genevieve, look, now I'm a runner. Oh, isn't it fun to have your job treated with disrespect? No, it's okay, it's my birthday. I'm not arrogant, I'm an American. And finally, Family Ties star Meredith Baxter has joined the cast of The Young and the Restless. She will be playing Restless. For the roast, I'm Mark Humphries.
Thank you, Mark. And speaking of the restless, unemployed people. Now, honestly, I don't know why they complain about the job market. I mean, sure, they might soon have to wait 6 months to get any benefits, but at the end of that impoverished rainbow is a pot of $510 a fortnight worth of gold. And all they have to do is apply for 40 jobs a month and work 25 hours a week doing community service as part of the Abbott government's new Work for the Dole scheme. You know what? It's almost too easy. Oh, whoa.
Thank you, victim of the current economic climate. You have truly earned your $510 this fortnight. Now grape me.
Thank you, Master, but you can't put a price on the experience I'm gaining from this placement.
Yeah, Nick, I can't help but notice you seem to be taking advantage of this scheme.
Tom, I'm a businessman, so when I heard the words forced labour and exploiting the poor, naturally, I was on board.
Sure.
Making poor people work for next to nothing in jobs they aren't allowed to choose is a tried and true idea. You think the pyramids would have been built if all those slaves in ancient Egypt were holding out for their dream jobs in IT?
Well, no, I guess not. So, Nick, I can't help but notice you seem to be painting the naked bodies of men.
Yeah, they're my new interns, Tom. The government sent them to me to give them workplace experience. And what better way to prepare them for the cutthroat job market than by making them cut each other's throats for sport? I should really oversee that, though. I am their supervisor. OH&S and all.
Yes,
fight for your dole. Excellent. Now go home and apply for 40 jobs.
You know, I believe both of those unemployed gladiators suffered terrible injuries and are now on the disability support pension. Unfortunately, the government's flagged changes to reduce that as well, which just goes to show you, young people, don't fight each other, no matter what the nice employed man tells you. But it's a relief to finally see those bludgers earning or learning. And I'm sure that someone else who feels that way is TV's top pundit, Andrew Bolt, who had to deal with some rough news this week when a legal change proposed just for him somehow failed to win the favour with the broader public.
I'm Andrew Dolt, and this is the Dolt Report. Coming up, I interview a glacier about climate change. I'll ask it why it keeps pretending to melt. But first, I look at how the ABC is wasting taxpayers' money on parodies of conservative commentators. Oh, my phone is ringing. OMG, it is my best friend Tony. Hello, Tony. Tony, I'll just put you on speakerphone. What's that? You're not going to repeal 18C now, but you said that was my law. I defended you against Malcolm Turnbull. Oh, I see. So you're holding off on 18C because you need to fight terrorist Muslims? That sounds a little racist, Tony. You might get in trouble under 18C. But thank you. At least you told me first. It's nice to know the Prime Minister still values certain members of the community above others. Well, it looks like maybe Australians just aren't ready for freedom of speech. What next? Will I have to start wearing a burqa now? Welcome to the new Australia, or should I say, death to the infidels.
And while I do wish him well, some of Andrew Dolt's newfound views may now come in for some extra scrutiny, as this week the government also announced plans to dramatically increase the information that security agencies can access about us. And unfortunately for the government, like a job applicant who misspells attention to detail on their resume, the ministers tasked with selling the policy weren't completely across all the details.
Hey, fellow federal government minister, want to go and smoke some sweet cigars?
I can't. I've got to learn about our government's new policy.
Learning's for losers.
Okay.
Stop right there.
You might think it's cool to be a senior minister who hasn't done their homework, but I'm here to tell you that when it comes to policies, it's cooler to know it than to blow it on national television. Right, guys?
Sorry, but this is important. If I don't read this policy, the real loser will be the Australian people.
I guess you're right. I should go and rethink some things to save Australia.
I'm Alex Lee, and this is The More You Roast.
So that's it for a wrap-up of our first week back at the new time of 7:30. And I have to say, it's great to be back here in the studio with all of my friends. You know, friends like Spotlight. And, yep, you have a great weekend. And Backdrop. Yeah, we'll catch up next time. And Desky. Desky and I weren't talking for a while, but we're on much better terms now.
No, we are not.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Desky. Well, my sweet, sweet chair, you never let me down, do you? You got me. Oh, who could forget my old pals Camera 1 and Camera 2? How have you been, Camera 2? What do you got there? Oh, no. No, don't do it, Camera 2. Oh! Not again. Oh, well, at least my grey necktie and I are always going to be the best of friends. So, oh, God, good night. Oh, tie, you know what I like. Yes.